What is up, my peepholes? This is your guy, Cly, and welcome to something completely different. This is an odd little series that I'm calling Cly's Kludges, where I show you some of my weirder do-it-yourself projects, many of which I actually use for recording. Even better is they're going to be made out of random materials that you'd never think to use in this way. Yay! Now, today's video is about making a wide-angle lens. Out of stuff I found in the trash, actually. Let's go ahead and get into the parts list. First and foremost, you need lenses. These little guys I pulled out of a rear projection television that one of my neighbors threw out. And the difference between rear projection versus LCD CRT, it's in the name. It has a projector inside that shines onto a screen from the backside, and you see it on the other side, versus a CRT, which is a glass tube filled with a cathode ray gun. Actually, that is what they call it, a cathode ray gun, that you do not want to mess with. Or an LCD, which is just a flat panel with pixels. Or plasma, which is a whole nother beast. You can tell it's a rear projection TV based on, is the screen flexible? Yes, then you possibly have it. Also, make sure you don't see pixels, because you can get flexible screened LCDs, so make sure you don't see individual pixels. And if it's thick, because those things are huge. If you see one that meets the description, you've probably got a rear projection TV, and if you're feeling adventurous, haul it up. Dig around inside and see if you can find the optics. Be careful when removing them, though. It gets sharp in there. In fact, I cut a finger getting it out. Try not to do that. Hey, cat. The little dude wants on the table. He's not in the video, he said. There he goes. Now, actually, having him here is a good thing to show you. Because if you see, I've got a bit of a narrow field of view, despite the fact that this camera does technically have a wide-angle lens built in. There we go. This little guy is very effective. Much wider field of view, though you do notice the warping at the edges. That is called barrel distortion. You don't want that. There is software to take that out, but that's why we use this guy. Notice how he kind of explodes the edges. Instead of warping them inward, he warps them outwards. So, using these lenses together, I get an even wider field of view with minimal barrel distortion. Now we need to house the lenses. For this, you can use pretty much anything, PVC, anything about the right size. I'm using a pill bottle. This is from some multivitamins that I finished off. I didn't find the pill bottle in the trash, unless you count my own. Well, actually, I didn't even make it into the trash. I keep these because they're great for projects like this or storing small crafting supplies. Just make sure when getting it that the neck is just slightly smaller than your smallest lens, and the base is about the same size as your large lens. Now, to finish this up, I'm also using some rubber bands. I got these when I found a big box of office supplies. Some hot glue. Somebody threw out their craft bin, so got a barely touched bag of hot glue sticks. And some Velcro. And I don't mean off-brand hook and loop. This is name brand Velcro, the industrial stuff. Got from a guy who also had cats. Got it very ew. Somebody, based on the hard drive that I found with this, was using it to, well, make workstations, really. They were attaching this to everything that they had that went around their computer and just kind of making a weird Voltron-esque abomination. That's what I'm using to make this. Now, I'm not going to show you the whole process. I will walk you through it a little bit, though. So first off, you're going to want to cut right below this lip here for the top portion, and you're going to want to make sure you go from the curve, so right where the curve stops. You're going to want to make sure you get a bit that's a little bit wider, or taller, I want to say, than your big lens. Once you've done that, you should have a couple pieces like this and this, which I have added Velcro to because I'm showing you the parts from the project that I've pretty much completed. Yay! Also, making sure to cut a slit in the top ring. Size it up for your little lens, and then just grind off the excess, not with the lens inside, but you're going to want to cut off the excess using shears. I used a rotary tool, things like that. I also added a little bit of Velcro on the back here so that it doesn't scratch my camera when I put it on. Now, there it is. I've only sort of scripted this out. This is my lid. What I did, let's just slide this guy out right now. After I sized everything up with this portion, I put my lid back on, cut it down, ground it to the same depth, and I added a little Velcro on the outside. What the lid is going to do in this situation is act as a locking ring. So you put your lens in, sit it flush, and add your locking ring. Honestly, if you only wanted to have this lens, you're done. Mostly. I've made a little bit of a contraption here with 2 rubber bands, and it's effective. A couple pieces of the soft Velcro portion. Just made some little, I don't even know what to call these, some ringlets on this portion. Put the rubber band through, and you can just adhere it to your edges. There we go. Strap it onto your camera, and you're good to go. But if you want to take full advantage of the big guy too, here's what I did there. So like I said, you're going to cut the bottom off, which I have done. I also ground out the center here, added a little Velcro for this guy to adhere to, and like I said, you want to go a little bit higher than the lens itself because you're going to make these little tabs. These are lock tabs that hold your lens in place. Now, don't do what I did. I dropped my lens. Don't worry, it's fine. It's gone through worse, and it's come out unscratched, despite being an acrylic. It's very durable. I put my lens in here, put this little guy in, strapped these on here, and then the pressure went, shot it out. That's where the hot glue is coming in. I'm going to get everything where it needs to be. So first off, we're going to put our big guy in here. Cat, no marking the camera. Sorry, I got distracted stopping a cat from rubbing his face on my camera. I was just about to say the magic word, but haha. There we go. So get this in here. Give it a little bit of a crimp to hold in place. And don't worry, I'm going to clean the lens before I call it done. And leaving the Velcro in place, because if you grind out this whole section, it's going to be slightly wider than your lens, but amazingly, the Velcro makes it perfect size. Doing this through the viewfinder. Lovely. Now, this is what I had. Put the Velcro on the outside and locked it in place, and next thing you know, I'm shooting my big lens off. See, it's not that bad. What I'm going to do is do a little jump cut, after which I will have hot glued this into place. And don't worry, I can completely disassemble it outside of that and clean my lenses. But I'm going to hot glue it in place, and then I'm going to try something with an extra rubber band. So jump cut. Bam. Hot glued. This is the finishing touch. It's nice and secure, doesn't wiggle. And when I'm done, I should be able to just rubber band it in place and not have to worry about pressure this time. In fact, let's do another jump cut and see if that works. All right, got it in place. Got to just center it. And like I said before, the lens on my camera is already slightly wide angle. Let's just zoom in a little bit to get rid of those edge bits, and boom. And this is my new wide angle lens. All ready to go. I just need to clean it up a little bit, and you can see a lot more. Just to give you an idea as to how much of a wide angle, let's just, without adjusting anything, slide this off. and back on. There we go. The rubber bands are holding great. And autofocus on this camera is also nice. Oops, slide it. There we go. That's the only annoying part. I'm going to come up with a much... Okay, what was that face up there? There's no... Oh, wow. This camera decided to take Sentinels of the Multiverse up there and recognize the face. Well, that's my little project. That is a wide-angle lens made from garbage. Until next time, this is your guy Cly, signing off.